Welcome, everyone. Can you please stand for the pledge? This is a waiting for Mr. Donaldson. Sorry, no worries. All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We've done that minutes and stuff. You want to jump to that?
Sorry?
We've done the minutes and notes. You're going to jump to that first.
Duncan?
Yeah.
Sure.
To that.
You want to have a chance to look over the agenda? I would like to add just something about the AD posted to the agenda.
Make motion to approve it, and there was the addition of the evening.
Second. Seconded by Abby. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
So.
Everyone have a chance to look over the minutes from March 23rd?
Remind us.
Make
Make a motion to adopt the minutes.
Also seconded by Val. All in favor?
Okay.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, Paul.
So you want to get right to the potentially vicious dog complaint?
Yeah, we will skip if no one has a problem. We will skip our road report and we'll go to what's on the agenda. I think most people are here for, so we'll skip and go right to that. I just ask that you, when you stand, say your name, please. And if you're speaking, just speak up because we do have it on Zoom too. All right? Thank you.
Okay, so I received a complaint from Susan Roberts on or about March 24th, 2026. I think I gave you all a copy of it. Regarding the black German Shepherd located on River Street at the Chandler House, whereby it charged her, pinned her against the house, against her back, and threatened her domesticated cats. As this board may recall, some of you were on the board then, but we actually went through a whole process of amending our animal control ordinance to include potentially vicious dogs, specifically in connection with the dogs emanating from the Chandler household. So this is the actual first formal hearing we've had regarding one of those dogs of the household, and I think I'd give the floor to Susan Roberts, who is here, if she'd like to describe for the board what happened.
Well, I submitted the written document as you asked, and I think you said the date was the 24th of March.
Yeah, you emailed me on the 24th.
And I also called in. This is not the first time. I'm getting real tired of this. This time it was one dog. I was out in my back and it came from behind the gray house, Chris's house, and charged me, and I kicked at it and kicked at it. It pinned me against the house. I had two cats out there. They ran under the car, so the dog was distracted and ran after me. And I picked up big chunks of ice and threw it at it. Eventually it took off.
You know, you can shoot a dog if it's on your property.
I don't even have a gun. Okay, hey, don't speak, please, one at a time. Susan, continue, one at a time, please. Anyway, that's what happened, and this has gone on for 3 years. I have 3 years worth of documentation to hear. Been in here, have called here. This is unacceptable.
May I speak?
Yes, please.
We have gotten rid of
State your
many.
name first, please.
Cassandra Chandler Allen. We have gotten rid of many of the dogs. I surrendered them to the Rutland County Humane Society. We only have the one German Shepherd that's mine now. He's not vicious. I know that's my opinion against yours. That's just my opinion, but he's not vicious. He likes to play. He was probably trying to jump to play with you, honestly.
He wasn't
But-
trying to jump to play with
We
me.
have-
Let her speak.
We got a muzzle for him, and we're gonna put up a chain this Thursday. There will be a chain put up, so that way he won't be getting loose anymore.
When you say a chain, what do you mean? A chain that's going to be a radius? He'll be in the chain and he won't be able to
Mhm.
leave the property?
Mm-hmm.
there anybody else that would like to?
Yes, my name is Jean Valucci. I'm the attorney for Amy Chandler. And is that better?
That's perfect.
Okay, good. So from my understanding, even from Amy, when she goes over to feed her 3 dogs, which are quiet, they don't bark, they don't really bother anybody. There's more than just the German Shepherd.
No, not
On
that's
the-
mine.
So who, is it one of the squatters that are in the home?
They're squatters. They're all allowed to live there.
By whose
Amy
permission?
Chandler.
No,
Yes.
no.
Yes,
So we're in court regarding all of this. So,
we are.
so yes, we are. Amy did not get permission for 10 to 12 squatters.
They're not squatters.
That
She did get permission.
septic system is now not working.
Not working because it was put in improperly.
Well, it's not working. They're still unable to flush the toilet.
No, we flush toilets.
Okay, let's.
This hearing is about the
Just about the
dog.
dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do know that Amy's dogs are not the subject, from my understanding of a couple of the neighbors.
I'm just confused, but you're saying Amy's 3 dogs are also at her house?
Yes.
Are on the property, yes.
Okay,
Because where she is, she's not allowed to bring the dogs.
okay, so you're
So the
saying
3
that,
dogs, they're all licensed, they have their rabies vaccinated.
so there's 4 dogs, because there's 4 dogs at your place now.
There's more than 4, but they're not mine. My dog is blue.
Is this your dog?
No.
How many dogs are there that live with you in that property?
Outside.
There's Carla, there's Yogi, there's Blue, there's Buck, Chipper, and Jasper.
So
6 dogs.
those are including your Amy's 3?
No,
That's not including those.
no.
Yes, it is.
Jasper and Chipper are Amy's dogs. There's one German Shepherd, an orange dog, and an old black dog.
Just catching up. So Amy's the owner.
Of the building.
And you guys live in there.
Yes.
You guys are in a civil court for something else.
Yes.
I'm just trying to connect dots. 'Cause I'm
It's
just,
not under eviction right now because I haven't been served. It was
Okay.
dismissed. It was dismissed, to be honest with you.
I'm just trying to catch up because I think I missed the
I'm so sorry.
first round of things.
Yes, step hard. That's good, please. My name is Christine Gebert, and I have a house on River Street. I reside permanent residences in New Jersey. And I bought this before here in Poultney. And I am a retired registered nurse. I'm on Board of Health in my town back home, and we do have ordinances against dangerous dogs, which deems they have to be muzzled if they're outside. They have to be on a leash. They have to have a fence with barbed wire, not just a wire, barbed wire.
They're not a vicious dog.
Yeah, right.
though. We've never bit anything.
One of your dogs went at my beagle. I have a little tiny beagle and he was on a cable with, the corkscrew, and I was in the barn. And luckily I came out with one of the shepherd hooks and screaming, and the dog did leave. But now, when I want to go out, this is what I carry because it shoots 20 feet.
Yeah.
I'm not going to shoot an animal.
That's
I
what
don't
the
have a
officer
gun.
told me. That's what the officer told me.
Yes, well, yes, but right to shoot them.
Yeah.
I don't own a gun,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to shoot another animal unless I'll spray it, I'll stab it with my shepherd's hook, but I'm
Right.
not going to shoot it because I don't have a gun. But I had a long time ago left a message for Mr. Donaldson to call me about this issue, and I don't know if you never got it, but I never received a call back. My son got a camera and put it on the back. So not for security, but to see if I've been attacked or I've been knocked down, more for my safety. And like I said, I was a retired nurse, but I also spent 30 years working with my husband as a landscaper. And that's what I love. I love to be in the yard. I love to do flowers. I love to do vegetables. I haven't been able to do any of that. So it's a sad way. It's really ruined the quality of life for us.
When was the last time the dog got loose on your property?
Not long ago. This one was right outside my window. This one was right outside and peed on my car tire. And this was not the one that went at my dog.
That's the one that went on it.
No, this is not the one. It was a dog. Pardon?
How did she pee on it?
I have no idea if it's a she or a he, but one of them was squatting and peeing by my car.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. I do have to say, last year I was at Susan's house. She had called, I did take a drive there. And while I was there, the dog did come around the back and go to her house when she was inside. I don't remember if there were any cats outside, but she was getting stuff together. So I did see it for myself that the dog came around. Was it vicious at the time? It was enough so it was scary. Shepherds are scary dogs, and it was enough so when I was there, I can see where they're scary. So it's gonna be more than trying to. That's the only problem.
No, I know, that's why we're getting the muzzle. Well, we have the muzzle, we just got it today, and we're getting the chain Friday for Thursday.
Do I have someone else? Yes. State your name, please.
My name's Pam Schaefer. I live in New Jersey, but my Aunt Velma Reed lives right next door to the property in question. And I would come up to visit her quite often, and my mother used to live next door. And getting out of my car, it was, you go outside and it's very startling to have there were always 3 dogs that would come charging to the edge of the fence when I get out of the car, and you want to fall down. And last summer, a big black dog, I don't know anything. I don't know a German Shepherd from a Beagle, but a big black dog with a face like a bear. I was with my friend. We pulled up to see Velma, opened the car door, and my friend says, "Oh my God, it's a bear cub right outside the door." And I'm like, I looked at it and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. He's growling like that low guttural sound. Very, very frightening. So my aunt had told me, if you get on the ramp, the dog doesn't come up the ramp because she's handicapped and she uses a walker. So I said, just get to the ramp, get to the ramp. We got on the ramp and ran in and slammed the door. But that dog has been, and I came down to the town hall and Paul wasn't here. I came down to report it. He wasn't here. I left a message about the dog getting loose. My husband called for a few years. He'd written emails and was always told the dog has to bite somebody before we can do anything about the dog. And the dogs are allowed to bark and do whatever and bark all night so that my aunt can't sleep. But I understand that the ordinance have been changed and hopefully something will happen. But the thing that really worries me the most, my aunt weighs about 90 pounds. She's very fragile. She walks with a walker. And if she goes out with her therapist, and if she's walking in the street and that dog comes out, she's going to fall and break something. And she's 89 years old. I just can't have that.
Who would have the liability for that? The town, because we've been here? Or the people who don't seem to care?
Or she could have a heart attack.
And they've been given summons. Have they paid these summons? Has anybody checked if these dogs have had rabies shots or if they're licensed? You know,
licensed.
My dog's licensed, my dog's up to date, but are these dogs?
Yes,
And there's 6 of them.
my dog is, I don't know about
Yeah,
that.
but there's 5 others, and do they have their shots, and are they licensed?
I don't know.
There's a sign out there that
Is
says.
there anybody else like to speak about it tonight?
Paula, you should.
Paul,
Paula's had a lot of issues.
I live directly across the road from them, so not much separates our driveways. And I've watched them, when you were walking one Saturday, go after her out in the road. And she just kept backing up and yelling. They finally backed off. Then she came in her vehicle, went to the door, and for a while, no one answered, and then a child answered. So that's their way to deal with it. But I've had them in my yard, I don't know how many times. They come over and go to the bathroom in my yard. I'm the one who filed the complaint. You guys probably know it. The 6 came after me last year, actually fell down and had a bag in my hand. and I was swinging it at them and was
I got
able to
rid of
get up.
those.
What's that?
I got rid of those dogs last year.
Well, I'm just saying, this continues. This isn't the only
It's not
time.
the same dog.
Then there's a black one that I'd be outside working and I don't always have my phone on me and they come out of nowhere. But thank God I'm always gardening because I have something to get into the house and I'd get my phone and video them. I have more than a few videos of the dogs. Even if it's only one, they're very intimidating. And they won't even let you come out your own door, or go out and start your vehicle in the morning to go to work and they come around the back of the van. They're scary.
Very scared.
And every person that comes there, their vehicle's there all night, all day, every day of the week. They always have a dog with them. So I can't tell you how many dogs live there. Every single person that comes has a dog.
Thank you.
Yes.
Peter Robinson. My wife was attacked once. I was attacked once with my dog, and I screamed and hollered, and that was a couple of years ago. I came and talked to Paul at least 2 years ago about it. And what seems to happen is when somebody says something, it calms down for a little while. And then after that, it gets right back to where it was again. And if they've got 4 or 5 dogs that they don't even know the names of or who they are, how is it going to be controlled? There's no way for you guys to control it. Something needs to be done. But beyond that, if anybody's driven by that house, there was garbage from the whole winter piled up.
That's a separate issue that
Well, it is a separate issue, but we live with this every day.
And speeding cars, screaming at 3 in the morning.
Fires. There was a fire out there tonight on my way in. And I talked to the young man there. In the middle of the drought, he had a fire going, and it would have caught the whole neighborhood on fire. And we reported that to the fire department.
Have anybody else?
May Williams, East Poultney. I walk up Marshall's Hill. And similarly, and I don't know if it was you or somebody came out and offered me a can of mace because the dog, they just affront you. And I'm not usually afraid of dogs at all. So I was like, no, I'm good. I'm just gonna keep moving and get out of the way. But yeah, it is terrifying. And especially when Paula got knocked over on her brick walk, that was terrifying. So it's just something that we hope will disappear. So that because we all walk up River Street, all of us. It's a nice walk up that hill. So yeah, they are kind of aggressive.
Very good, gentlemen.
Bill Delavanzi. I live kind of across the street from the Susan. And I haven't seen the dogs out in a while, but they have been in my yard where I'd be out working on the wood pile. And all of a sudden I'll hear something behind me. There'll be like two dogs. There'd been a time where there was maybe 3 up by the house. And I've yelled loudly and they've stopped. And if I turn around, they would just kind of stand there. No, I don't know their intentions. I'm a retired letter carrier. So I dealt with dogs and people told us, oh, they're friendly. And we were always taught, we can't believe that. You just have to assume. So, and it is frightening because I don't, I think I could yell enough to keep them away, but maybe they won't. I don't know. So it is a little scary.
I haven't had any major encounters with their dogs. But I don't walk up
after your dog.
Yeah. But I don't want to walk up that road anymore. I can't take my dog up that road.
You can't walk up there anymore.
I
For a
don't
couple of years. You can't go up there.
For the sake, the other day I go to Paula's a lot and I have to carry something that if a dog comes out at me I'm just, not scared of myself, I'm scared for my dog. And that's sad. It's just sad.
Yeah, so it's less like have they bitten someone, it's just like the encounters happen so often and it's just the volatility of it is.
Now Amy walks her dogs every day. She goes up and gets her dogs and she walks
No,
them.
she doesn't. She hasn't in a while.
It's because she's scared. Why would she want to go there? to feed her animals and water her animals.
Doesn't want animals, I don't think so for the animals.
Well, I think what we want to make sure you know, you're aware of is that we are working on something. That's why there is actually a lawyer here, so there are a lot of things that are in place that are happening. Our job is to make sure, have all of you here, listen to you. We'll look at the ordinance, we'll see what our next steps are. We hear you. Our job is not to go out and shoot a dog or do that, which none of you want to do either, and neither do we. I happen to witness it, so we will take it into consideration. We're going to look through the ordinance. And there are some steps in place that are going to be happening that we can't share with everybody right now, but there are things that are happening in the court system. So we will certainly, don't know, keep them abreast. I'm not sure what exactly to tell you.
I mean, this
I think,
board has the ability to order,
For the one dog or for the,
order the chaining, the muzzling, or the humanely euthanization of the dog.
Just seems like, has any one dog been the biggest?
black
Black.
shepherd.
And that's,
For a while, there were three of them together there,
It just-
against the front of the house, and two of them were shepherds, and I think the other one was that black dog. But that's not a shepherd though, the black one, I don't know, it's just a big black dog.
No, chipper.
Neither's.
Oh,
There were two black dogs that I saw. There were two of them. They looked like both shepherds, but there were two of them. I don't know if they're both there or not.
I'm just so say we made a motion to muzzle the black dog when it was outdoors, like what
Chained, I would say chained.
But- does that,
Chained, definitely.
but I just,
Definitely
if there's
chained.
9 dogs, is
Are
that,
you allowed to have loose dogs in Poultney?
No.
well, no, well, I don't, we don't have like a dog snatcher, you know, that's gonna,
I mean, typically, when there's been complaints, and I have to be honest, it's usually about this household. I've discussed it with the deputy that's been assigned. And I've been advised in the past that they've been ticketed. I've also been advised, because someone just asked, do you check to see if they pay the tickets? Honestly, I've been advised by more than one law enforcement officer that it's very difficult, if not impossible, to track whether or not a municipal citation has been paid in the court system. I do know this board and maybe some other folks
Right, go ahead.
in the community know that we don't have a consistent deputy assigned to Poultney. It changes more often than I would like it to. But every time a new deputy is brought on board, I confer with him, and if there was a her, it would be a her, particularly about this household. So, when I get a complaint about the dogs, prior to the new enactment of the revised ordinance, it always was passed on to the deputy. Sometimes they would report back to me, sometimes they would not. But yeah, this board has authority over.
so say we make a motion, not to cut you off, but we make a motion to have the black German Shepherd on a muzzle and a leash chain when it's outside. And then they don't follow through, they get a photo of it. Is that a fine? What's the system like?
Then you can have.
It's just like,
Yeah, well, that's what, like,
I'm willing to, go with the muzzle and the chain, and if he doesn't have them euthanized.
That'll be the next step, though.
That's what I'm
If he's on the chain, or you can't get out because your fence is not working, obviously he'll be on the muzzle when he's out and on the chain.
Mhm.
And if he does go, then that's the next step, then
Yeah.
he'd be euthanized. I would suggest that the other dogs find a new home also. We can't make that happen. Hopefully it's through the court and whatever happens, but I would suggest for you to have them have a new place. Yeah, no one should have to worry about dogs hurting them, even if you think they're friendly. Dogs are scary to a lot of people. I know, I've always had animals, so I would see if you find a new home, that would be the best thing. But the one that we're talking about is the black one, that's a German Shepherd.
Yeah, that's blue.
He's black, but he's called Blue, but yes, so I would make sure.
I think it's Baloo.
Oh, Baloo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would make sure.
Yeah, like ideally there's a solution where the dogs aren't euthanized or shot or like this, obviously what I think everyone's goal is.
Yeah.
Yes, as Cassandra said, some of those dogs don't belong to her
Yes,
and they belong to the other individuals. So where's the enforcement to the other individuals?
it's almost possible, but I think that's, you guys are working that.
No,
out.
that has nothing to do
Definitely have
Well,
with that issue at all. This has to do with the dogs that are loose,
Yeah,
that antagonize the neighbors and put them in fear.
So
Sandra said,
this particular hearing was based on the complaint from Susan Roberts from March. Had in that instance, Susan said there's, 5 dogs or 6 dogs or whatever, then the complaint would have been based on those allegations, and this hearing would be based on that. Unfortunately, as I've tried to explain to some of the folks in here and maybe some other folks that are related to them, either by blood or marriage, this board specifically amended its ordinance to deal with potentially vicious dogs. Some communities in the area had that in their ordinance, and this board reviewed several different community ordinances and adopted the potentially vicious dog clause of the animal control ordinance to fit into Poultney. Now, do we run the risk of us coming back and having a hearing every month because someone says brown dog now is chasing me, and someone says, oh, that white dog or the one dog that someone showed a photo of?
Yeah.
Do we run the risk of having another hearing? We probably do. Does this board, I can't give any legal advice, but could this board in theory say every dog that you own, you're sitting here right now and we're going to order you to do X, Y, and Z? Maybe.
what do we have, what's our protocol for dogs that are unknown owners, we'll say, like what can we do about that? Or make a motion for, in your opinion?
It's like someone that's living in a right there.
I mean, you try to ascertain the owner of the dog. And if you can, I really don't know without conferring with
Is it
legal.
the owner of the house that we would go after? Yeah.
Who has the
I
liability?
strongly object to that.
At this point, who has the liability? Is it the town because they're not enforcing enough? Is it the owner who's not doing enough? I mean, we're living a life that we shouldn't have to. I spoke to you at the town picnic, and that was a long time ago about this. And I'm told there's nothing we can do. We can't kill the dog.
Well, I'm not saying there's nothing we can do. No, I wouldn't have said that either because that's why we have an ordinance. But it's not as easy as just saying we're going to go out and shoot the dog. That's not our role. Our role is to see this is the next step. We had the hearing. Their dog is supposed to be muzzled and on. If you see that dog is out and not, then our next step said, we're sorry, but that's the next step. It'll have to be euthanized. And they'll get it. So that's how it works. My suggestion would be, because of all this, that you get rid of the other dogs that are there and make sure, if not, we're gonna be right back here saying the same thing to other dogs and saying whatever. I certainly get it. I don't think it's at our job to say every dog that's in there now has to be muzzled and chained up. For now, we're gonna say that dog. And then if we come back here and we have to be back here again, then we'll be back here in this spot again.
Do you have a copy of the new ordinance?
It should be, it's already, I think it's posted up.
Should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already like it.
I'd like, before we went further, solve one thing at a time here.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion that we order the black German Shepherd, known as Blue, chained and muzzled when not inside the house.
Do I have a second?
Second that motion.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
And hopefully people read between the lines and some other issues are resolved. Or if we're back here in 2 weeks, we're back here in 2 weeks, going a step further.
I did drive up from New Jersey because of this here.
I did too.
So
6 hours.
Well, I appreciate you coming because it lets us know that it is, I mean, we always know it's a big issue, but we just can't, we have to follow the ordinance and we have to, yes.
Why can't the town specify any animal coming from that house?
You chase the muzzle.
No, that they'd be under control.
Yeah.
It's like the peanut under the shell game. Oh, it's not my dog, it's their dog.
Yeah, I was going to ask, can't the town say that you have to have a fence that's impenetrable by the dogs? Like, can't the town, you must have a building inspector, like in our town, we have a code official that will come around. This would never, ever fly in my town anyway, but one loose dog and the dog catcher picks him up, takes him to the pound, and you have to come and collect your dog. But can't there, you might have a code official that has to come around and make sure that the fence, that the dogs can't get loose, because this is one dog, but the other dogs have been loose.
There is no
Just come
code
and inspect the
enforcement,
fence?
there is no code enforcement in the town of Poultney, and there is no building inspector in the town of Poultney. If a building is,
What about Rutland County?
if the building is consider what the state would call a public building, there are enforcement, mechanisms through the state. But what you're suggesting is a local code enforcement. There is no such a thing in the town of Poultney.
I will say, I've lived in half a dozen Vermont towns. It's more normal to have I know this sounds crazy if you're from it's more normal to have this kind of like, I guess, freedom. Like, and it's almost dizzying because you're like, why isn't there just X, Y, and Z? And it doesn't mean we can't slowly like build that, but most towns are kind of like this, where it's like, if Farmer Joe has the black German Shepherd on his land, he shoots it. And like, I know that sounds just like, what are we talking about? It's Wild West, but it's like a lot of small towns in Vermont, we don't have the money for a pound and a animal control and then building inspector. And it's just like, it's the reality of a lot of small towns.
So we
But-
basically all have to get guns.
No, I don't. I think that obviously it's not my preferred solution. you know?
I'm thinking now they keep track of it. Now that we had the hearing, it's gonna be muzzled. If that something happens tomorrow, you wake up and that dog is there, then you are to let us know. And then we go into the next actual have a meeting and we go and take care of it. If there's a dog that's out and roaming, yes, we do have a board where we go. I mean, Paul's gone on a number of trips that we find a dog that's here, there. We have to go pick it up. We have to get it, see if it's chipped. We have to take it to the vet. And if we don't have someone that owns up to it, then we have to take it over to the Humane Society. So there is a process. He usually stays in his garage or my garage until we figure out who has it, who belongs to it, or something like that. So we do have that in place as part of the warning.
Call for that.
You can call here at the town.
And do we have a way of finding out if these dogs have been at their rabies shots and licensed?
I just did Blues last week, but I will inquire about the rest.
You can inquire at the town clerk's office. She maintains a record of dogs that are registered. And I can't speak for her, but I believe it's by owner's name. So that's where it may be difficult to track if you don't know the owner's name.
Yeah.
I would ask, I mean, realistically, this might be a can of worms question. Sorry, Cheryl, but like, because I think, am I missing something? Like, what do you guys think would be like, you'd be happy with this meeting? You know, like I
just want to say, if the dog's not registered, you have no idea what vaccinations or anything.
Yeah.
There are a lot of dogs in this town that aren't registered.
Yeah.
Certainly are.
And they're the ones that are traipsing it out.
These dogs have knocked people down and chased them into their house.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Not bit them.
so
They've been knocked down. That could be a broken hip,
I don't-
broken arm.
Yeah.
I'm 78 years old. I don't want to get knocked down.
I don't know if they're being fed either, because twice what has happened to me is I'll go to the dump and I went back in the house for a minute. I came back out and their dog was there, busted my garbage open. That happened to me twice. So I don't know if they're being fed and taken care of at all.
well, my suggestion is just to make sure, as of right now, that the dog has to be muzzled and chained outside. If something happens and you see that, then I suggest that you please notify the town right away. If we have to set up another hearing, then we'll do so at that point. Yeah.
Just one question. When we discussed about, what the neighbors would like to do about the other dogs, couldn't law enforcement go into the home, find out who owns these other dogs? And if nobody stands up and say, this is my dog, it's an unregistered, unlicensed dog.
Somebody
It
would
should
have
be
to make a
removed.
criminal a criminal complaint, I think, with a.
Well, we've done it.
Well, not
Well,
with the
there's
town, but you'd have
ordinance
to
in
call,
place.
you'd have to call the police and.
I called the sheriff.
I'm talking
Well, that's
all
good.
three
Yeah,
sheriffs, all three sheriffs that have circled through here, been to my house.
And I was the first to have the sheriff.
I know, Trooper Hall
Yeah,
has been there a couple of times. I know that Deputy Rowland was possibly there last week or the week before. And so these are complaints about the
And
dogs.
Sheriff Cram was the one that we dealt with.
So
He's still
why can't they find out who owns these dogs? And if nobody stands up, those dogs should be taken out of the home and brought to the Humane Society.
So we can do that with Baloo, Chipper and Jasper since she's not taking.
No,
care of
because
them? She hasn't been there to feed them or do nothing with them.
That's a different one.
That's in your main.
But I will. Okay, is there anything else? Mary Sue.
Mary Sue Reed, can you just confirm that the town does have a leash law, doesn't it? So really, there should be no dogs running loose anywhere, anytime.
There you go.
And also there's a barking ordinance too. There's, a dog cannot be left out barking
Yeah.
for hours on end. I believe we have that in
Oh, yeah.
the laws too.
And that has been brought up. We've had people that have, not in a while though, but that's. They should.
As I stated, when,
Nothing was done.
as I stated, when those complaints have come to my attention, I have brought it to the attention of the sheriff who's on duty.
They were brought to our attention, they have been rectified. The dogs don't go out, they don't mind anymore.
Even during the day, they bark from 11 and.
Dogs bark.
You know,
That's what they do.
But you can't just leave them.
You can't, you're telling me that you can't, your dog doesn't bark?
If he doesn't.
Okay. Thank you for coming.
there anything we
Now
can
we have a
add to
motion?
just like,
No.
piggyback off your starting point? Do we have, in the animal control, is there a fee schedule for like unregistered, should we talk about?
Not from here because we've done an accent.
All right.
I thought you were.
We're gonna move on. Okay, we're gonna move on. The road report, Joel. Joel,
Oh, yeah. So this Saturday, April 18th, there's 2 trees.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.
That's
Well, to everybody,
Oh, okay.
not her. Good luck with all this.
Yeah.
That's a good blanket statement. Yeah.
I wrote down with them.
Today we get the right.
I used to set this up back. I'm gonna go. Yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted to let you know.
I saw that. I was up there on the street, but you have someone to take those bags to the transfer station for you?
We've been already bought my vehicle.
Okay. Okay.
I just want to let you know that we have been working on it.
Okay. Would it help if I just give you a roll of bags right now?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I think
I
it's
don't have the
like,
money for it yet. And
it's like a place in Poultney, you never go unless you're going that way. It's like,
yeah.
I've never,
Choosing it in Vermont.
I go over the
California. They said
Now
your
and
dogs
then,
are
just
just
like-
like.
I don't know.
I
No, I've
that's about.
never done after.
no, they've been there.
I almost wish I.
Just bring all the dogs out for them to see and like let them off to see how they act. So. All right, so don't have it. Hi, what's your name? Jay, what you I'm working on getting down here. Hi. Oh, okay.
Look like the haircut, huh?
Yeah. This is Wednesday agenda.
Okay, we need to get going,
Thank
so those people are leaving, thank you.
That one's go.
Just for the record, there was someone in buying a transfer station ticket this morning that didn't take 2 rolls of bags, so I just gave, Sandra that roll of bags. He
Thank you.
said if someone else can use them, give them to them.
Yeah, seems like a good act of a roll of bags. Good use for it. Have you been?
Yes.
Sorry.
Nice.
Stuff from the York Break trash, you know, in the road. The trash bag.
Still up by the arch one, but it's gross, yeah.
And I was not like way over the shoulder. I was in the roadway with the York Break and
Yeah.
it still caught trash and pulled it out.
Would it be in the,
Up a little bit, we can't hear you back here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Joe.
So there's two trees. You can look out this window and you can see them. One of them somewhat hangs over the southwest corner of this building. The other one is somewhat entangled with our high band radio system for the town, the town and village use for communication. They're coming down this Saturday at approximately 8:30 in the morning. We decided to do it completely outside of hours so that nobody's in the building, not people walking around. So that'll be taken care of shortly after. Road grading and road repair will hopefully we'll get a couple of dry days and the roads won't be too much of a sponge and we can start getting the grader out there and getting stuff taken care of. In the meantime, we may, if roads get bad enough in some places, we may just have to dump spread a couple loads and just lightly run the grader over it or run the York brake over it just to buy time until we can do it the proper way. We should be getting the boom mower back from its repairs, hopefully by the end of this week or the absolute beginning of next week. We will be, our first couple of projects will be Jones Road. We have some brush cutting to do that's really encroaching the roadway and a little bit of ditching that road needs, but that should be maybe a 1 week project, I'm hoping. And then we would like to pick up also around the same time with taking care of what we told Ernie we would do on when he went last year, because I didn't really feel great about not getting to it before the winter, but can only do as much as we can do, unfortunately. So salt storage issue, we still don't have anything for that. We did get a letter came out from AOT, from AOT District 3 manager, Brian Sanderson, basically suggesting that towns in the state of Vermont order extra salt or figure something out, because since it's been a 2-year problem and we're probably going into it for a third year. So we don't have much more room. We don't
I was
have,
gonna say, we don't have room even if we bought it ahead of time, right? So
we'd have to get,
is there any stop gaps we could do? Like just a little lean-to off the firehouse or something? Like, is there anything you can think of?
maybe put up like a hoop house kind of thing. I don't know. I have to do some looking into it to see,
Yeah.
to kind of get some prices.
Yeah.
I also need to find out if salt can be stored on open ground, for our purposes, or if it does have to be on a
Slab.
board pad of some sort for legal purposes, especially considering that a lot of our aggregate storage area is within the floodplain.
What if we just found some nice patron that was like, I got an empty barn bay that you can use or something like that? Is that possible?
If it
does
is,
that have to be so
I would
high?
take just about anything.
Really? Yeah. That's what we're at that point, right? We need something.
Doesn't it have to be so
It would
high?
have to be high enough that you could dump at least a triax or a dump trailer load into it, so you could get 8-10 feet into the doorway, and then they could get the body raised at least a good majority of the way.
Because the one we have is not tall enough, right? It's smaller, but.
So
wide either.
the current salt shed that we have is really tall. But because the concrete doesn't go the full height of the building, and then where the concrete leaves off, it's rough cut lumber, siding and stuff. So even if we could utilize that whole height, you can't, because there's lumber that the weight is just gonna push the lumber right off the thing. So it's almost kind of it wouldn't work. We can't go any higher than it is, basically. So I'll leave you with that. We'll keep revisiting the salt thing, and I'll try to come up with some ideas as well and keep the board updated with that. Chlorine prices are going up. We knew, I just kind of put it up. 2023, we were at $1.09 per gallon. 2024, we were at $1.09 per gallon. 2025, we're at $1.11, so a 2%, 2 cent rise in that 1 year. Then this year it's gone up to $1.21 a gallon, which is the highest rise that it's ever hit. And they've also added a fuel surcharge to our deliveries. And I will just let you know, we're contracted that we have to purchase at least 13,000 gallons a year in order to keep the rental spray unit that we have. That's how we keep that fulfillment and lease or rent that spray unit that we use to apply chloride to the road.
You just right around that amount or ever anymore?
We do use more, sometimes less, sometimes more, depends on how bad of a drought summer we're having and how much grading we really have to do.
It's not a burden to get that much.
I did want to find out. No, it's definitely not a burden to get that much. I just saying for a minimal amount, we are looking at a $1,300 difference in chloride gallonage. And then I don't know what they're going to do for the fuel surcharge. They didn't specify it in the agreement letter or this year's upcoming contract letter. But you know, I don't think the $1,300 difference is killer this year. But I just think we should be mindful that literally everything petroleum, anything fuel driven or petroleum based it's on the spike. So we can expect that across the board. I mean, pretty much everything. Yeah, and this is tariff driven. It's written a letter from the company, because they can only.
And that's we lock in a contract price for that?
It does.
So, okay.
Lock in, yeah. So we could buy as much as we want until the end of this month, at last year's price, and the tanks are already pretty much full. I can't fit enough in there right now to get a delivery. There's a minimal delivery of 4,000 gallons, a max of 5,000 gallons. And I think I only have room for about 600 gallons currently. So unless we could acquire a large storage tank for non-hazardous materials, I'm pretty much maxed out until we use some. So anyhow, I just want to put it out there that, you know, the prices of everything we're consuming is definitely on the rise. The F600 is going to Burlington. As you remember, we purchased this cabin chassis approximately this time last year, and it sat in the fire department as a paperweight or a dust collector for the last year, but it's going to Burlington to start its, as I'm told, 3 to 4 week process of being built, so long as they don't have a problem getting parts for it. So I think basically in a nutshell, that's the majority of what I got. And I did bring in 2 of the signs that you're going to see us hopefully Thursday. Jesse can confirm or deny this Thursday as to, you'll see us out there with some of the ATV, UTV club members installing these in places that they've decided necessary. And then Jesse will release publicly a date later that it's finalized after everything's taken care of. Yeah.
It's great.
Nice work.
Yeah. And please thank Dickie and the crew for both, because they did a great job on the old fire, taking that down. They did a great job.
Oh, the old fire department.
Yeah, the old fire department.
The collaborative project.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
good project, good together. Yeah, they cleaned up really nice. There were lots of good comments about it, but
We did get the signs up at the transfer station. All the signs came in and
okay, yes.
the proper legal signage, and then just some foolproof signage of things that some people seem to misconceive as to what goes where or whatever. So
I know Dickie also fixed the chains that went across, that'd be welded in or something.
yeah, I had to reinforce the
Yeah.
one corner on the scrap metal bin.
They look good.
So-
They look good.
Yeah,
That's good.
that's all I've got. Unless anybody's got anything.
Please thank the guys. I know they're doing a lot inside and outside the building. So
Yeah,
thank
we
you
have
for
been
that.
making a lot of room at the garage out in our yard for additional aggregate and, you know, I don't know, potentially a additional or supplemental storage area for salt. I don't know. It's hard to foresee, but it doesn't look like we're, you know, leaving that location in the absolute immediate future. So
Yeah, if you guys can think of a couple of year something.
Yeah, so, and we're just trying to do things to buy us time.
Couple grand for a couple years fix type thing.
I will talk to the board later about setting up a time for all of us to meet over there like we did in the past to meet them in their area. You can check it out and then have a conversation with them. So we'll do that. Get you the dates and make sure it's usually at the end of the shift. Okay, they'll let you know.
I don't think I forgot anything else this time.
Any questions for Joel? Thank you for all you do. I know you're very busy. Hey, community development?
Under that, I've got really the MERP RFPs. This board has been provided with the 3 quotes that, the 3 bids that we received from the contractors, and Maggie O'Brien from the Rutland Regional Planning Commission is actually on the Zoom if we need to loop her into the conversation. But I'm looking for some discussion and or selection of.
I looked up the people just to see if there's any bad reviews or, any differentiating variables or something. Cause she had said that Architend, let me get it right. Architend was the one they were kind of familiar with. And
Yeah.
That's like, I feel like anecdotal references like that in Vermont are, in my opinion, hold a lot of hold a lot of water. Yeah. So like I was like, if I look it up and they have 2 stars and the other guys are 5 stars, then but I didn't see anything. So I guess I would make a motion to go forward with Architend with the MERP proposals.
What do you think, Paul?
We had Architend is the only of those 3 outfits that bid on the projects or submitted proposals. Architend was the only one that actually came to the property.
Yeah.
Of those 3 bidders. And we actually had, when I say we, Bruce Williams and myself and Sean and Maggie from the RRPC, because we had a couple questions specifically about this building and the windows and some other questions. We actually had a supplemental meeting with Architend, and I think Bruce and I both came out of that meeting feeling a lot more comfortable with what they had proposed. Essentially, what their proposal is basically, okay, we know what money we have to work with, and if we were to give them the contract, they said they'd come in and do a more thorough investigation and report to the board. If you spend this much on this energy efficiency measure, does it outweigh if you spend this much on this other efficiency measure?
Yeah.
So kind of give you an idea of where you can spend your money.
Getting the nitty-gritty.
And, not necessarily spending all the money, but the best use of the money. And so I did, and Bruce expressed the same thing. We felt pretty good about Architend.
Yeah, I read some articles. They're in like Vermont Green Building magazine. They're legit and the other guys. That's my opinion. Like I said.
I would second Kay's motion if it's still on the table.
Yeah, I still make the motion to move
second
forward
it,
with
Maggie.
Architend.
Maggie, is there anything you want to add?
Yeah, thanks so much. Not to sway the vote or anything, but yeah, I'd be thrilled if you guys both, if both the town and the village went with Architend, since Architend was the only one who submitted a proposal for the firehouse, for the village. So, I've already laid out my points. You guys know how I feel about it, and I know that Shelly and Jason are going to be an all-star A team for you guys. So that's all I got on that.
Thanks, Maggie.
Thank you. Thanks. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Guess we're going with Architend. Good job. Perfect.
Let's fix some stuff.
I'm gonna
So the
come
clerk
make a visit.
Has given me a couple of liquor license renewal applications.
I know.
Didn't we just joke about that?
These signed so many liquor licenses.
licenses and just missed out.
Like, who else has liquor?
I've got Tasteful Station, the American Legion, and Wellback Vineyard. Let me just make sure I got all of them, because she said a couple more came in this afternoon.
Differ between liquor and just beer and wine. I think.
Yeah, they're different classes.
Still, they still have to have them if they're beer or wine, but not.
They're, for instance, the American Legion has the first class, a third class, which is the difference between beer and wine, and then outside consumption. Tasteful Station is the same thing.
Gotcha.
And the Whaleback only has an outside consumption, license.
They're just looking for the renewals, nothing new.
Correct. And those are the only ones in this pile.
Baseball Station, Wellback.
Do you have a motion to sign the liquor licenses?
I'll make a motion to sign the liquor license.
Do you have a second?
I'll second.
Second by, good, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Whalebacks in there.
You abstain from all of it or just from Whaleback?
Whaleback. I get, I can have a motion to the worded.
Okay. Okay. You want to sign that, Cheryl, where it says approve, I'd appreciate it. I just got a note on here, this month I've got to do our 2026 ARPA reporting. The only outstanding ARPA that we need to expend by the end of 2026 is the ITM, the Heritage Family ITM rental that we are funding. I just made a note, kind of more for myself, so remember that I've got to do the reporting. I've got to call into VLCT and set up a meeting with them because they usually help me make sure I do it right and walk me through it. There are still a couple of delinquent tax collection plans that are still outstanding to be signed. There's a couple of different ones that have been trickling the money in. So I hope by the end of this week, I hope to be able to give the lawyer who to move forward with the tax collection, and who has a solid payment plan. There, I think I told the board last meeting there was 2 or 3 or 4 that had discussed the plan with me but hadn't executed the agreement. 2 of those have come in, executed, and there's a couple that are piecing their payments together, which I hope their intention are to have all the delinquents caught up by the end of when the tax are due by May 31st of this year.
So with the outstanding payment plans, is there a hard date on them of having to move forward before?
Technically, there was a hard date of, I think it was March 19th. But I've given some people a little leeway. The ones that have not reached out to me at all, I'm not talking with them anymore. They're going to the next phase.
Okay.
There's 2 or 3 that did talk to me but didn't come up with a plan. Likewise, they're going to the attorneys.
Okay.
There are a couple that have, when I sell this piece of equipment, I'll come in. There's one that had access to some money and had to move some of their funds around, and that person brought me in a big chunk last week. So the ones that are actually working with me, I've given them a little bit of leeway, but the other ones that didn't respond at all, I've already.
So those ones are already with the lawyer.
They're already gone. Yeah.
Okay.
So hopefully by the end of this month, I'll have I can tell you, we got so many payment plans, and so many are going, and so many have paid, because we have had a few pay up all their delinquencies, and we have people that come in religiously every month and according to their payment plan making the payments. So that's good. So those people, there's one person that said, the 3rd was going to fall on a weekend. If I came in on Monday, were you going to no, you're here now, but no, but you're working with me. I know you're
The
coming.
effort's being, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, if Monday comes and then Wednesday comes and they're not, then the agreement's null and void, so.
Okay, great.
Thank you. I know that's a lot of work, a lot of time.
It's,
So much
it's,
appreciated.
We've got a little spreadsheet working. I just have a note on the capital planning grant. We've had, you may recall that RFPs went out. There were 2 or 3 entities that reached out with some follow-up questions that we've responded to. So I know there's at least there's at least 2 consultants I know of that I believe strongly will submit a proposal. There's been a couple of other entities that have asked a few questions. Whether or not they move forward, I don't know, but I know there's 2 entities that have said that they're going to submit a proposal. The energy coordinator role that I was asked, of the many things that I've signed up for, what do I do besides coordinate energy?
Self-explanatory.
Actually, what I'm doing with the MERP is sort of falls within the energy coordinator role. I printed it out. Basically, my role as the energy coordinator is to work with the planning commission, different state officials, and federal officials about energy plans that the town may be working on, and auditing town vehicles and/or buildings is something the energy coordinator can work on, which we're doing through the MERP. It's important to note that as the energy coordinator, I don't really have any independent authority, but I bring what I've learned to the select board, and this board is ultimately the group that has the authority over any planning. So I don't know if that answers anything, but that's what I can tell you.
Feel
So confident.
Yeah, very.
Yes,
very clarified.
you're doing that role.
The merger committee meeting is set for the 27th.
We're gonna get the agenda for that, do you know? I
Yeah.
haven't received anything.
I haven't done it yet.
Oh, no, was it you? I didn't thought it came from Joe.
It'll be me.
Oh, it is you, okay.
So I confirm with the village board of trustees and the members that are on that committee that 5:30 on the 27th would be the day that we would meet for the merger committee. I've got a note here on the contaminated soils disposal. I received an estimate from the state of Vermont on what we're looking at for potential fees. Some of you, I don't remember if you guys were on the board when, in connection with the South Street Bridge project, some contaminated soils were identified, lead, and some other contaminations were found. Those costs fall on the town of Poultney to deal with the contaminated soils. And I received a preliminary estimate. Everyone's sitting down, right?
Yikes.
We're looking at about $295,000 to deal with that contaminated soil.
Is that pre-excavated right now, or have they brought it to somewhere in town?
Currently, it's being stored
Near the
behind the firehouse.
Okay.
Yeah,
Somebody had asked me that,
yeah,
because that is contaminated soil.
correct,
In limbo.
correct.
Okay.
Whether or not, if that soil is moved off from site from a town of Poultney property that we no longer have control over, if we're looking at estimated $295,000. I'm going to explore what our other alternatives are, and the state has said we realize that you may not have those funds, and we're willing to work with you to figure out how you're going to pay for it. We do have quite a bit in the bridge replacement fund. Not that amount of money, but approaching that amount of money.
I think because Rutland Hotel had a big contaminated soil problem.
Yeah.
And they just did a bond, didn't they? Well, I'm saying that's probably not gonna work for us, but
At least we're not.
theirs was like $2 million worth of contaminated in the pit near the Huffman Moose
Yeah.
anyway. I don't know.
Now, that's just an estimate. Maybe it's more, maybe it's less, but,
Yeah.
So big estimate. Oof.
Yeah,
we-
yikes.
we do have other funds, you
It's not a
may,
ton. I mean, if the pile there is all of it, seems great. I know it's just,
To make sure.
that's how construction goes. I've been saying that. You know, but
So when they start the digging, then we'll have a better idea. I mean, I know they have to dig pretty deep.
they've already done some of the digging. But yes, but also, I was gonna say that, Joel and I had spoken with the engineering firm about assessing, bridges in Poultney. So, some of that bridge funds will be expended on those fees too, because we hope to work with an engineering firm to kind of inventory our bridges and prioritize what's next for maintenance on Poultney bridges and what needs to be done in the next 5, 10, 15 years with those bridges, so we can start making sure that we have funds available for those items as well. So what I'm saying is, I don't want to spend all of our bridge replacement money in one check for
landfill.
contaminated soil.
Yeah. Lead soil.
Is that cost for us to ship out or is that in-house? Is there,
That's to ship it out.
Yeah,
That's
they
it.
truck it to like Michigan.
but we
like-
talked about is it for that?
No, there's actually a facility in, I think it's Fort Edward, New York,
Oh, is it?
that takes it,
Okay. That's not,
but still.
yeah. Anyway,
Is there a
300 grand.
timeline that we have to deal with it on or make decisions?
That I don't know, Abby. I kind of got the email last Thursday and I was like, oh. So I haven't gathered all my intel on that. That project I think the project's supposed to be done 2028, I think. So I think we have some time. And as we know, it's being stored right now behind the firehouse, and they're storing it in accordance with how they're supposed to store it. So, originally when we started this project, the state said, hey, if the town's got a piece of property that they know they're always going to own, you could potentially store it there.
Indefinitely, if it's proper. No.
Correct. Yeah. So, I mean, that's something that we could explore
Yeah.
if that's an option. I see someone's got a comment here.
Yeah, my place. For the price.
Mark Fund says any superfund money for the soil like contaminated oil site stinks. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't had the chance to really dig in, no pun intended, dig into what our full options are on this.
I'll get a price from Cheryl to do her backyard. What, 150 grand? You can half that. Wow.
Crazy.
Cheryl, you said you wanted to add the AED discussion.
Yeah, I wanted to, I know Joel did I have to be trained every year for first aid and CPR and AED training, and Joel set us up our first aid 4 or 6 hour training. The more I think about it, because through all my coaching, we always have to have an AED on campus in the schools, and I don't know why we don't have one in this building. I know we've talked about it. I think I'd like to have the board give me permission to look into that and see if we can find one that's a mobile one that can have access. I don't know if we have events and things outside where to tell people to go get one. And it's a really big thing. And I just thought if we
Big
have
thing
one,
is an
it
important.
saves lives. Yeah. I mean, I think it's really important to have, and I've seen it utilized, so I know how important it is. It's not like it's hard to do, but I think it's a really important thing for us to have. So I'd like to look into it and see if we can get one, at least to have here. And then if we have some kind of function, at least it's out there that people know where one is located. The high school, the elementary school is supposed to have one. Does the senior center have theirs already? And the senior center has theirs. So I just think there's so many things that we have going on.
Firehouse.
I would hope that they do.
They
They
have-
should, yeah.
They should have one every year.
So if it's a
They
mobile.
have one that, at least as of the day of our training, they had one that was not operable.
Yeah, we looked into that together, yeah. I mean, It's a mobile one, so I know we used to take one when I was coaching, we used to take one outside for certain events, you'd have to have it outside in the field, so, did they ever have to use it? No. But I've been places where they did have to use it, knock on wood, so I just think if the board thinks that it would be worth us looking into the prices, see if we can have one mobile here, if there's things that are going on in our streets downtown or something that we have access to where it is, I think we can always get into certain places. Yeah, so.
Definitely.
Yeah, does it sound like?
You need a motion to look into it?
No, I just wanted to ask you before I looked into it, and I didn't spend the time, but I just think it's important. I'll look into set prices and just see if we can have one. And I didn't want to hitch one to the wall because who knows what's gonna happen. But I think if it's a mobile one that will be here, we'll house it here.
Usually they're in a wall mount box and then you just turn the handle as needed and you can pull the bag out and you can take it to
Right.
another location or whatever. So like, it's
The
not
parade.
business hours here.
Yeah.
You can bring it out with you, or we call Paul because we got a roadside incident on the radio
Right.
and somebody could run
It's
it
the
out.
bridge.
You gotta beat the squad.
You're thinking it, yeah, because you just don't, I mean, we used to have to bring it right onto the field with us. So I just think it's important to have one. So
Yeah.
I'll look into it. We'll see what it costs and have it. So.
Good idea, Sheriff.
I forgot to mention that, I had on here the old fire department brush truck. Chief Kerber asked that I put that, that this board table that until our next meeting where he and his assistants plan to attend to participate in that conversation. There are a couple personnel matters that I'd like to go into executive session and discuss. I do not have any RRPC, anything to report.
We're gonna do public comments first, and then
Sure.
I'll have someone do board members and we go to executive session. Public comments? Yes, thanks for saying. Yes.
Jean Bellevue. First I'd like to apologize as I'm not familiar with the rules for the board meeting, today. But I'd like to, discuss two issues. One is the septic system over at 191 River Street. I do know Durant Septic was there March 21st. The inlet line and the outlet filter are not working and the raw sewage is backing up into the home. Now, I know that might have been going on for quite a while now. There's been issues with the septic system. And with the trash also, which I'd like to submit, if I may, the correspondence from Durant Septic about what their findings were. They did not go further to inspect whether or not the septic system is a failed system at this point. So, or, observe the leach field and see whether or not there's seepage into the groundwater. So may I submit this?
Sure.
I just,
Here at the Paul, yeah, we'll make copies. Thank you.
I do have a text from Cassandra Allen also stating about the septic system and that the toilets are not working. They're not functioning. And there's still 10 to 12 people. And that's why I'd like to submit the text.
Sure.
Thank you.
That isn't true.
I also have. So I called the state and I did get a response. It's an open investigation. If the board would like the incident number or case number, it is 26 tab E B 00228. And that's being done by the enforcement division at the A&R. I'd also like to submit a couple of things. Cheryl, I did submit you the pictures a while ago. Initially, I emailed you pictures.
Is it with the email that I just had to,
No, I don't think there's 3 recent pictures.
Okay.
These were taken last week of all the trash.
oh, maybe I got mixed up because I also went into the
Oh,
picture.
you
So
did? Okay. But I'd like to submit this. These pictures from 6 months ago to present.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, one of the neighbors that I spoke to, I believe it was Lori, did say that she thought she saw trash or raw sewage in the river. There's also a concern with the A&R Enforcement Department, whether or not there's any seepage to the groundwater. I don't know what the town of Poultney can do at this point, or if it's just going to be left to the enforcement. All right. Lastly, since I represent Amy Chandler, may I please have all correspondence, phone calls, email, or anything to her directed to me? I can provide you with my address.
She was just in. Can we legally do that? I'll put them both on there. Have to ask her first.
I mean, you already requested that, I believe, from me. Have you not?
I don't know, because she did receive the letter regarding the fine. Well, the trash.
That was before you said direct any correspondence to me. That letter I sent to Amy and to Cassandra about the trash. Because Cassandra's the owner of the property, and ultimately, if I'm going to enforce,
Cassandra.
excuse me, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Amy is the owner of the property. So ultimately, if I'm going to enforce a health order, it's going to be against the property owner. So since I sent that letter, you have advised me to send correspondence to you, which I will.
All right.
I do have an issue when Amy comes in here pleading and crying. Are you asking me as her attorney, tell her, go away, I can only speak to your attorney? Is that what you're asking me?
That was reinforced today with her. And as you know, Paul, she is disabled.
I understand.
She has some short-term memory loss, difficulty speaking. So I spoke to Amy's sister today and I told her, Amy's not to come tonight. Let me take care of it. So any correspondence, phone calls, anything must be directed to me.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that Poultney is a very small community. When Amy comes in here to do X, Y, or Z, oftentimes Amy and I have a conversation. What's going on? And she tells me, this is what's going on. I've had conversations with Amy's sister. I've had conversations with Amy's brother. Are you asking me to cease those conversations? Is that what you want me to do?
I think you should use your discretion.
Okay,
How's that?
that's fine.
Okay, Doc. One last thing. I know, Paul, when I initially contacted you several months ago, regarding some of these issues, you said the town of Poultney couldn't do anything because it's not a public building. Could you just clarify that for me, please?
When you and I had a conversation, I don't know how long ago it was. I think it was in the previous calendar year, wasn't it?
It could have been later, yes, in the calendar year 2025.
I told, at the time, he said, look at all the garbage that's inside the house. Inside the house. And at that time, I was advised that I had been advised previously, if people choose to live, excuse my language, like pigs, not to say that that's what's happening here, but if people choose to live with piles of garbage in their own house, there's nothing I can do about it as the health officer. It was brought to my attention just recently about the garbage outside. I don't go by there every day. I think people think I cruise around the town of Poultney looking for things. I don't. When people bring things to my attention, I look into it. So when someone brought what the outside of the house looked like to my attention, I immediately sent a letter, which you're referring to Amy and to Cassandra. Cassandra came in here and said, can I buy a dump? And because in the town of Poultney, to dispose of your garbage in the town of Poultney, you're required to use yellow Poultney trash bags.
Okay.
Amy came and bought a sticker. Actually, it was Good Friday. I was here by myself. The office closed at noon, and Cassandra, excuse me, I keep saying Amy, Cassandra came and knocked on the door and said, hey, can I buy the dump sticker now? And I sold it to her. I just gave her a roll of bags that someone else in the community said, I don't need these bags. Give them to someone who can use it. So, as the health officer, I'm doing what I can do. I always try to have compliance with people. And insofar as I can tell, as far as the garbage in the front yard, it looks like she's trying to comply with my request to clean up the property. Now, you're saying this is the first I'm hearing that it could be going into the water, etc. But what I suggest is if you have Environmental Enforcement Division working on the septic system, which the jurisdiction of the septic system is the state of Vermont.
Correct.
So, and I believe when, correct me if I'm wrong, when you first brought it to my attention about the allegations of the septic system, I said to you, have you contacted the Enforcement Division of A&R? And it sounds like you did, because now you have a case number, so that's
Right, but back then,
kudos.
well, excuse me, back then I didn't. I didn't know there were allegations that there were issues with the septic. So,
But
and then you
no,
said
no,
it's not a public.
more
it's not a public building.
more recently.
Well, I did
But-
tell you, the latter part of 2025, there may be issues with the septic. And a lot of that's based on the pictures.
I don't recall that. I recall
Okay.
you saying there was garbage in the house.
All right.
Now, if you're trying to pin the way these people are living on me,
No.
then I take issue with that. Because when you and I first had communications, you thought I was some sort of man with a cape that I could sweep in there and take people out of the house at my whim. And I had to enlighten you that that's not the way it worked.
Well,
You
I
thought as a
apologize.
health officer, I had authority to condemn the building,
No.
which I do not have the authority as a health
I
officer.
apologize if you took what I said to you the wrong way. I needed guidance back then,
Okay,
what to do, and I wasn't provided it. I think I called everybody in the town of Poultney. Help!
I mean,
So,
do you feel like you're in the right direction now and you've contacted the people so that you have everything?
yeah, it's, the State Department. But my concern, and the neighbor's concern now, is because they know that there's issues with the septic. Is it going to the groundwater? Is it going into the river? Is it going seeping into their property? So when I understand that, the state is now involved, but I don't know what the town can also do at this point. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
luck
you, Jean.
with the whole.
and I will, if I do have any further written communication with either Amy or her
Well,
sister,
thank you so
etc.,
much.
I'll let you know, okay?
All right. Cassandra, you could talk to anytime.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
So, yes, just Amy.
I appreciate it, Jean.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you. It's the daughter. She's the daughter, she's here. That's why we can't. Says it all the place. Phew. Gosh. Hey.
Three are here.
And now there are three. That's two.
Board on yourself.
Well, thank you for the update on the energy coordinator role.
Oh, yes.
I know people get a little chuckle out or something like that, but when considering the circumstances we're facing now, I think your alternative forms of energy are going to be coming a little bit back more into focus now,
Yeah,
just to get off fossil fuels. So I'll probably be talking to you,
okay.
giving you some info. Just one question, for the MERP RFPs. Can you just tell me again the 3 buildings that are going to be worked on?
So currently the RFP that was just approved with Architan deals with 9 Main Street, the town office, and it deals with the Young at Heart Senior Center. The third building there was 4 buildings that were identified as potential candidates. The third was the firehouse, the highway garage, which we all know it's in the state that's in. And the Stonebridge was also identified as a potential candidate, but I think the Stonebridge, because of some of its newer efficiencies there, and because of the easements for the historic preservation on the windows, etc., in that building, I think was sort of knocked out the Stonebridge as a real viable candidate for expending some of those funds. Does that answer your question?
So it's just town office, Young at Heart, and the highway garage?
Currently, currently we're only dealing with the town off, it's phase one, the town office in the senior center.
And senior center, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be a good time to say on record too that I went and saw the highway garage, had a little breakfast with Joel and Alan was there, and yeah, it's rough. I mean, I don't know how to say it. Like it's the MERP is very focused on like energy efficiency stuff. It's not just like general construction fund. So it's like, in my opinion, doing like new windows and a heat pump or something in the town garage is probably not a good use.
It's a waste of money.
Yeah, I think we all.
Definitely a waste of money.
But,
That's why
yes.
I wanted.
So
to see-
well, once we like, now that we hired Architect, we'll get into nitty gritty of like phases and stuff, but
Yeah.
I think we all
Yeah.
are on a similar page. I can't speak for everyone, but yes, I went to the town garage and I guess I do want to say that it was,
It's been that way for a long time.
I'm sure it didn't happen. It didn't
didn't
happen
happen
overnight. No, it was probably like that when I was born.
And we did ask if some of that project, money could be transferred to the department if something happens.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we talked about, so too. Hopefully. Good. Any other questions? Do I have a motion for board orders?
You want to see if anyone online has a question?
Anyone online have questions? Can't tell if any hands are up. I don't see any hands up. Okay. I have a motion for board orders. Do I have a second? Second by Val. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Board orders. All right, Alan, we are going to enter an executive session with a couple of correctional issues.
Also litigation, say personal matter.
Yeah, I printed out that one.
One VSA section 313(8)(1), make a motion that sport finds that premature general public knowledge would fairly place this sport or person involved as a standable disadvantage to certain matters outside of executive session.
I second that.
VSA section 313(a)(1)(a), motion to enter into executive session to discuss personnel matters.
I second that.
Seconded by Jay. Perfect. Anything in executive session? Thanks. Good night all.
Motion from that executive session.
I second.
All in favor? Any opposed? We are out of executive session. A motion on the floor.
I would make a motion to accept the project scope of work for Laura Williams consulting for.
Everybody wants a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Val. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you all. I have a motion to adjourn
I make a motion to adjourn.
and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. We are adjourned. Thank you, team.